Hey guys, it's Jozy here back again with another video. Now, I wanted to create this video just to go through a few lessons I learned while scaling my sales team. Now, in terms of the sales team now, we're just about to hit 4 people in the sales team. And there's a few mistakes I've done after having some people not work out, have some people do work out. And I wanted to create a video just going through anyone who is building a sales team, just to go through a few lessons that I learned. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Josiah. I'm scaling my own consulting businesses. And my own consulting business with agencies and helping them scale from multi 6 and 7 figures, and we help them build outbound systems. Now if you want to learn a bit more about what we do, there's a link below. However, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is just to give you a few lessons that I wrote here, to basically share my experience when it comes to building a sales team and how it really works, and things that I didn't see online of a lot of people talking about it, right? So one thing I wanted to go through is when you're going through hiring a sales team, I personally hire from personal network, joining sales groups, especially paid sales groups, people that have actually invested in their sales mentorship. I found the best candidates from there. And one thing you have to understand is before hiring someone, especially for sales, you want to listen to their sales recording. That would be the biggest things I've ever say. And if they cannot give you sales recordings, I would not hire them straight away, right? Because the sales recording is one of the best ways to find out where someone is lacking in sales. So like in terms of like their tonality, in terms of how they pitch, in terms of the discovery call, in terms of the objection handling, it's going to show you every single thing that is wrong with the rep and things that you need to work on, right? Without doing that, it's hard to kind of judge if they're going to be good for your setting, right? And if it's going to be a good culture fit as well. Now, the thing is about like watching sales recording is, for example, let's say in football, they want to hire someone, let's say they want to hire Messi, right? Or sign Messi from another team. Imagine if they had no gameplay of Messi, right? Would they hire them? The answer is no. That's why recruiters go and watch games from people that are just in the academy, people that have just coming up in the smaller leagues, and they watch their games and they have real footage so they can assess, is this player going to be a good fit for our team, right? Is he fast? Does he know how to dribble? Does he know how to shoot? A lot of things that they do before actually making a decision to transfer that person into their team. And the same thing, you have to look at it from kind of your sales team, right? Before you hire someone, you need to have examples on how good they are already and things that they need to work on, because it could be that they're like, you see them and they're like a 2 and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do so much work to get them up to a 7. Whereas another person may be a 5 and you know you need to do just 2 or 3 or 4 tweaks and then get them up to a 7. Right? And the thing is, because we have limited resources, especially as we're starting out, right? And as we're scaling, we want to make sure that we put the resources on people that is going to give us the ROI in a quicker time span, right? And that's why hiring, especially reviewing sales recordings and actually reviewing them, not like just skimming over them, actually sitting down, reviewing 2 to 3 consecutive and see if this even worth an interview, right? Because if I don't have sales recordings and if I haven't viewed them, I'm not going to give anyone an interview, because I want to jump in the interview full well knowing who the person is in terms of sales, their sales credentials, the experience, things we need to work on. And before in the meeting, I have so much to provide in terms of, hey, I think you're good at this, I think you're good at that, I think objection handling could be good or could be even better. And then boom, I can give them an offer. And someone, especially the sales rep, feels that I've actually taken time and actually gone through and actually make sure they're actually a good fit for the company, right? Now, the next thing was hire with basically hire someone that has a good tonality, right? Now, the reason why is because, especially when it comes to like basic kind of speech skills, it's some people are very, very monotone, and getting someone that is monotone to not be monotone, to actually be animated, talk like this, have different expressions, stuff like that. It's very, very difficult, right? From someone who's generally very, very monotone to someone who's animated, having that shift requires that monotone person to be very, very uncomfortable. And some people may not be able to do it consecutively or to do it under pressure when they're on a sales call, right? So for me, I always look for people who are very animated, who have that tonality pre-built into them before I hire them. Because at least I know I'm getting someone that loves talking about something and can actually transfer the energy of conviction, transfer the emotion through the other screen, whereas someone that is very monotone, maybe speaks like this, has zero emotion, it's going to take a lot for me to train them and to get them from a person that is monotone to a person that is very expressive, very animated. And that's why when I go and review the sales recording, tonality is one of the biggest things I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who has tonality pre-included in the package. So I know, okay, the next thing we need to focus on is how we can basically best engineer or best personalize that tonality throughout the sales process and throughout the sales call, right? So hire someone who already has tonality down, and they don't have to have the best tonality in the world, like the best sales tonality, but someone who can actually sounds excited when they're pitching, right? Or someone that can lower their tone, right? Someone that has more emotion when they speak, because that emotion is going to come in when it comes into actually selling someone, especially someone that is a colder lead. Okay, so that's the second lesson. The third lesson is lean into sales management. Now, I have seen so many people, especially business owners, right? They get one or two sales reps and then they start managing them and they're like, oh my God, this is too much work. I have to listen to the call recordings. I have to meet with them one-on-one. I have to review their calls. I have to do daily team huddles, things like that. And a lot of people literally avoid this. A lot of people hire sales managers too prematurely. They try to basically pay and avoid it, so they don't do daily meetings, daily huddles. They don't really actually lean into their sales team, actually speak to them, actually build a relationship with them. And that's something that it did try to creep up on me a bit, but I've seen it more externally more than internally. And I decided to lean more into sales management, because at the end of the day, that is one of the highest ROI tasks you can do. Like, you jumping on a 1 hour call with a rep, right? It's going to make that rep close at 20% for the next 6 months, right? And how much money is that going to make you? Like, someone that can jump on the call and 1 out of 5 people they speak to, you make money. It's like, it's so much ROI in terms of time and money. Like, the amount of money a sales rep like makes you, and the amount of time it saves you, allows you to actually build a life, right? And actually just do things outside of work, focus on the product, build content, and like not always be back to back on sales calls. And that was one of the biggest things that I realized that a lot of people lean into, because there's a lot of pain avoidance. But then when I basically created a workflow for myself, right? And this sales manager workflow only took me like an hour a day, like maybe 1.5 hour max, right? So 1.5 hour work a day, and then we got an hour huddle with the team, and then 1 hour, 30 minutes one-on-one at the end of the week. Like, let's say 5 to 8 hours of work, right? A week. And boom, that could unlock 200K a month, 300K a month. Like, that for me is a no-brainer. Like, investing that time, that energy, the sweat equity to make 200, 300K a month, it's like, it's a no-brainer. And a lot of people don't want to do it because they think that maybe the product is better, maybe they need to do more content. But then if you're already getting appointments, which you should already be getting appointments before getting the sales rep, like, the only thing you have to do is just make sure your sales reps literally convert as high as possible, right? And that's the biggest thing, okay? Next thing is, I mentioned here that you need to master lead flow. Like, you need to have an acquisition system that is going. And then what I've really recently learned, especially from Alex and Mosey, is adding on flow. So if you got email that's working, add on LinkedIn, add on SMS, like add on so many different lead flows, that lead flow would never be a problem, or scale the lead flow that's currently working, right, to the max. So we went from 10 accounts on LinkedIn to 30 accounts on LinkedIn. So that allowed us to basically scale times 3. Right now we're looking to scale again times 2, get to 60 accounts. And mastering lead flow is going to make sure that you have the bargaining power to get good sales reps, right? Or to get decent sales reps, not the best sales reps, right? Because they're going to ask, okay, how much lead flow do you have? And if you can't pull up your sales rep's calendar and say, hey, this is our current calendar right now, this is how many meetings we've got right now, this is the show up rate, this is how much it is, this is the average close rate, this is the ticket price. Like, there's so much things that you can pull up, right? From, let's say, from the current calendar, that is going to give you the bargain, the leverage to get someone onboarded that is, okay, there is an opportunity here, right? Because that's all sales rep wants, just opportunity to make money, okay? So, master lead flow, which is number 4. And then number 5 is when it comes into mainly the getting them to KPI. Before, I used to focus equal time between discovery call, pitch, and objections and closing. Now I spend 20% on discovery and 80% on pitch, objection handling, and closing. Like 80% on the pitch. Like discovery, the thing about discovery, you have the script in front of you. It's pretty easy. You're just asking questions and shouting up. That's basically what discovery is, right? And asking deeper questions. And then we focus predominantly on the pitch, right? We want to make sure that the pitch is solid, because I know if we get the pitch solid, that is good. And then I prefer getting people who already know how to close and know the main few objections, like time to think about it, money, fair objections, like them, the main objections. I get people who already have dealt with that before. And then we focus more on the close, like how to actually close the people, how to collect payment, and then we go on to objection handling. So we start off discovery call, that takes 1 day, then 3 days on the pitch, right? Dealing that in. A quick side note. Now, one thing that's happened with the pitch, if you get your sales rep to send you 10 looms of them, so looms is like a screen recorder, 10 looms of them saying the pitch every day. So every day they start on the pitch, you need to send 10 looms to you of them reading the pitch, and you can literally see the first loom to the 10th, day 1, then day 2, day 3, but you have 30 looms altogether of them pitching, and you can see loom 1 to loom 30, and then you can see, okay, big improvement, right? Because you want them fluent in the pitch, so then the only thing they have to worry about is just objection handling. And that objection handling is going to be something that we're always going to be practicing. Every day on the huddle, we're always going to be practicing objection handling. So it's something that we're always going to be doing. So like the rest of their career is objection, right? But pitch and discovery is something that they have to like pay down as soon as possible, right? So that is one thing that I've been focused on, especially when it comes to the first 1 to 2 weeks of them, getting through them. And then after getting them on calls on week 2, and then getting them up to KPI, right? Now, for us, we give them 50 calls. If they can't close at least 10% on the 50 calls, then we see if maybe they're getting there, or perhaps if they may not be the best fit for the company, right? And the big thing I want to say is that before I used to put so much emphasis, and this is a lesson for myself, so much emphasis on like sales reps, but then I realized sales reps is like dating. Like you're going to find some sales reps that work, some sales reps that doesn't. And as long as you have gotten 1 or 2 sales reps from 0 to KPI, then you know that A, your sales system works, and B, you're good at training someone, right? And that was the big realization I had this last week, is that I got a sales rep I've had 2 sales reps that have gone from 0 to like 15, 20%, and I trained them both single-handedly. So at that point, I knew I had a system that worked, and I knew I could train people, and that was a big kind of like skill acquisition realization that I was like, oh my God, I've got this skill. Like I know how to do this. And this gives me so much confidence myself, because then I realized that if he's not going to KPI, it's not my system's fault, it's not the way I train. Essentially, I just made a wrong hiring decision. And the best way to fix that is to basically replace the hire, right? And that was one of the biggest epiphanies I had. So I wanted to go through a point where once you have done 1 to 2 people and you've actually got them to KPI, they've started producing, then you have to realize that, hey, it's not really you or the system, it's just you made a bad hiring decision and you got someone in the company that shouldn't have been in the company. And that's basically something that's easier to fix, right? Than changing up your sales process and sales management. And yeah, that's basically a few lessons that I learned when it comes to scaling my own sales team. So take them lessons. If you need help, get into a point that you are scaling your own sales team, there is a link below for us to chat. And then that is it for today. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.